Hi, this is Mayank. I am the founder of Dilaton Technology. We are a deep tech company and primarily into defense. Defense is one vertical where we have made 0 to 1, and right now seeing the scaling process. We are open to go into the different verticals because we are primarily starting with AI as the intelligence layer on top of drones. We see that there is a future where AI can be used in another verticals as well. So Dilaton basically makes AI pilot for drones. It dates back to 2019 actually. We were the first one to have understood this, that in a hostile environment, which we say as adversarial environment, there would be jamming environment, and in the jamming environment drone signals would be lost, and then the drone is on its own to survive there. So it basically needs its own intelligence to survive. Post Operation Sindoor, it was validated when electronic jamming was happening at a massive scale. It's a critical problem right now in defense industry where once the signal are jammed to the drone, how drones basically survive in those sort of environment. In fact, moves in, does its objective and come back to its home position. This dates back to a backstory basically. In 2019, we as a team participated in something called Olympics of AI, organized by Cambridge University, and it wanted to test animal level cognitive faculties which can be developed. By winning that Olympics, and particularly in the decision-making category, that was the high point where we kind of designed and developed every other cognitive faculty that time. We think we are at an edge in terms of AI, in terms of developing these technology, and we can put these cognitive faculty on top of the drones to make it survive such adversarial environments. I think a biggest technical problem, so as to say, is how do we train these intelligence faculty which works at edge, number one, which gives edge autonomy, a real-time survivability. And the second would be, do we have those compute power as far as the sovereign tech is concerned, so that we can make those models with billions of parameter work. So one of my co-founder is my schoolmate. It dates back to standard 2, so as to say. We were not there in touch for like 10 years, but then afterward we got in touch, and by that time he had developed a knack of operational excellence, working in TCS and different other verticals. I found out that he is good with people, and he is good with listening to pain. He was the most emotionally available person. I found him, if he would be a person who would be sitting right next to your customer, he would be giving that ground insight that is useful in our product journey, where we kind of take any feature, we take the pain from basically our customers, and then we reiterate the process. That is how I approached Parth. The second person is Major Tarun Gangas. He is third generation into army, served in the highest of battlefield, Siachen, and then moved out to doing risk and business head for India and Bangladesh. He had a good knack of understanding from an insider point of view our customer. So that angle was also important. Plus, he had a lot of network inside defense, just being by the virtue of third generation into the army. That is how I think these two players would be, critical pieces of the puzzle to put it all together, and that's how I brought this thing. After graduating from IIT Kanpur, I was this question was, at that time this question was with me, that what makes human intelligent basically. And at that time I was seeing different sort of AI is coming. Fefeli was one, somebody is saying pattern recognition has come. So I was like, this is just a pattern recognition which is rote learning. You give millions of example of it, and then you give one another example, it learns a pattern out of it, and on the one millionth plus one, it gives a prediction. This is not how we do. We have a language in which we have a conversation. When a data basically transforms into information, when we have an emotional registration of that conversation, until unless we emotionally coincide, that remains a data without a context. So emotional registration is very critical piece to build a context. And then we have our working world model as well. Whatsoever experiences we have gathered, we make a working world model of our thing. So at that time, I was more deep centric per se, deep tech centric per se. But I was getting revenue through certain projects, but it was not scaling up. And somebody, just gave me an insight that why don't you look for a high impact thing? And if you're going for the physics of intelligence per se, where you would need certain platform to work upon. You are thinking in terms of humanoid aa jayega or things like that, but wo abhi ho nahi payega. So what you need is something which is really, under the policy of Government of India or what the corporates are looking for. And at that time, drones was coming. So I thought, okay, I have to do a humanoid. Why cannot I do with a drone which is basically flying? So all the intelligence that I have to put, I can put it on a drone. It's just a flying human being. That way I can first start with computer vision, let's say, and the different other faculties. And then towards how I scale and how this everything, it depends on a lot of things. I would see where it goes. That is how. And defense, why defense per se? Because defense was that high impact zone. I cannot sell drones in agriculture because there's a replaceability around it. A labor is quite cheaper than a drone, but in a defense, that is not the case. And plus, from a business angle, and from the sovereign tech angle as well, that there was a clear-cut economic sense as well, because inside defense it was a realization that on training that one person who is going inside building, the government is spending near about 3 crore. If you can just reduce the kill probability of that person just by sending a drone of 1/10 of the price, it makes economic sense. Behind this whole thing, these two levers were important for me to select a drone, and then carving out the vision of it, that what is the next logical leap in defense per se. So the next logical leap was, as I mentioned, that when electronic jamming would be there, your drones would be just like a dead paperweight, so it would not function. The most valuable benefit having an interaction with leaderships who have been there, done that kind of a role, to cross-learn from their experience, to share my ideas around it, and see if they can put their weight there and help a startup like us align to a certain high-impact use cases, maybe de-risk our whole value proposition, help us to scale. I would essentially like them to envision at the same scale where we are operating. We want to be a sovereign tech for nations. We are basically not into geofencing as such. All those fixed wing drones who are like we are starting from there where it's not geofence. We are making our own alternate to GPS coordinate system through using visual cues. We are doing intelligence right from the visual cues itself. The satellite maps are there, but primarily the input signals are coming from the cameras. So that's how it is. Dilaton excels in mapping and delivery. Both are the excellent, I can say, pillars of it. Delivery, just because we have those people who are very deeply working with the armed forces, and they are key listeners. So they listen to the problem statement, their pain points, and are quick on their feet to have a first draft cut at the solution. And then we reiterate to get to the product. You may say the feature set, and we deliver in the quickest of time. So in our DNA, it's like we have always pushed that everything needs to be done in 3 months of time, at max 6 months of time. So I think delivery is one of our strongest forte, appreciated by our customer as well. and yeah, mapping, just because we always convert those pain points into a tech vision which is backed by business logic. Time cost saving, I would not say per se, because we are dealing with the lives, and our main operation is in those areas. We can map threats basically and eliminate threat. So we can lock the target, chase it, track it, or just do a surveillance and maybe map the area.